Today I'm going to be doing some more review for the upcoming test. I'm going to do some inequality questions and some word problems, and then finally we'll finish off with solving a linear equation problem as well. All right, so first I'm going to start off with this inequality here. We have 32x minus 2x plus 3 is less than 40x plus 4 times 3x minus 8. So the first step that we want to do is multiply into these brackets. That'll give us 32x minus 4x minus 3. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I said minus 4x. Minus 2x is less than 40x plus 12x minus 32. And now we want to get all of our terms to one side, so we can either put all of our x's to the right side or the left side. I think it'd be easier to put it to the left side. But before we do that, sorry, we gotta collect our like terms. So 32x minus 2x is 30x, minus 3 is less than 40x plus 12, which is 52x, minus 32. So I'm going to subtract 52x. You could also add, or you could also subtract 30x. It's up to you. And that'll give us negative 22x. Minus 3 is less than negative 32. And now we just have to add that 3 over. So we have negative 22x is less than negative 32 plus 3, which is negative 29. And then finally, we just have to divide by negative 22. And what you have to remember is whenever you divide an inequality by a negative number, you have to flip the equation or flip the sign of the inequality. So instead of a less than sign, it is now x is greater than 29 over 22, which is approximately 1.32. Next up, this is a linear equation that we have to isolate for y. So whenever you're trying to isolate a term, you always want to multiply out all the brackets and collect all those terms, and then you want to bring them all to one side, factor them, and then divide. So first, we're going to expand out those brackets. So that'll give us 7y plus 7m plus 8 equals cy minus bx plus my. So I'm just going to highlight our terms that have a y in them. So we want to get all these terms on one side of the equation, and all these terms I'm going to put in yellow. We want to have all those on the other side of the equation. So first, I'm going to get all of the orange highlighted terms, like every term that has a y, to the left side. So we'll have our 7y plus 7m plus 8. And then we'll have minus cy. To bring that over, we have to subtract it. Minus my equals negative bx. Now we still want to move all of these terms, all these yellow highlighted terms to the other side because they don't contain a y. Oh, and here as well. So we will move those over as well. Oh. Equals negative bx minus 7m to bring it over, minus 8. And now finally, we have all of our terms that have a y on one side and all the terms that don't have a y on the other side. So now we can factor out our y. So 7y divided by y is 7. Negative cy would be negative c. Negative my would be minus m equals negative bx minus 7m minus 8. And finally, now that we have factored our y out that we want, we just have to divide by this trinomial here. And this will be our final answer. Y equals negative bx minus 7m minus 8 over 7 minus c minus m. Since all those top terms have a negative in them, we could factor it out, but this is good for our final answer here. Next up, we have a word problem. A swimming pool can be filled with water by 2 pipes. Pipe A can fill the pool in 6 hours, while pipe B can fill the pool in 4 hours. If both pipes are turned on at the same time, how long will it take to fill the pool? So for pipe A, its rate would be 1/6. And that would be in, the units for that would be, it could fill 1/6 of the pool every hour. Pipe B can fill the pool in 4 hours. That means be 1/4 pools per hour. And so let's say let x equal the combined rate of both pipes. Since they're both on at the same time, x would equal A plus B equals 1/6 plus 1/4. Put that in your calculator. That comes out to 5/12 pools per hour. It is a little bit weird to keep the units like this, but it just helps make a bit more sense. Because now the question is, how long will it take to fill the pool? So if we have one pool and we know it takes, our rate is 5 pools for every 12 hour, all I have to do is invert and multiply that. So times 12 hours per 5 pools. You just cancel the units out. You put that in your calculator, you'll get approximately 2.4 hours for the amount of time it will take. So worker A has a rate of 1/15. Worker B has a rate of 1 trench for every 10 hours. And C equals 1/6t, where T equals time in hours. So if they're all working together for 2 hours, we can combine that. Let's just say A, B, C equals combined rate of worker A, B, and C. And that would equal 1/15t plus 1/10t plus 1/6t. Put that into your calculator, that'll equal 1/3t. And so these, they were all working together for 2 hours. So that means that since they're working for 2 hours and they can build a third of a trench every hour, that means they've built 2/3 of a trench. Then after that, worker C left. So now we want to find the rate of workers A and B because they're the 2 workers that remain after C leaves. So to find that, we'll do the same thing. We'll have 1/15t plus 1 over 10t, and that equals 1 over 6t. And now how long will it take the workers to finish digging the trench? Well, since they've already built 2/3 of the trench, we can write this as 1 over 6t plus 2 over 3 equals 1. And so since they've already built 2 over 3 of a trench, they just have 1/3 of a trench left to build. Because 1 minus 2 over 3 equals 1/3. Sorry, these t's shouldn't be in the denominator. And now we just have to multiply both sides by 6. And that gives us t equals 2. And then we just write our statement, and therefore it will take 2 hours to build the trench after worker C leaves. All right, now we have our last equation here. Find the equation of the line that passes through 6, 7, and 9, 20. So what I like to do, I like to label my coordinates as x1, y1, and x2, y2. So the slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which equals 20 minus 7 over 9 minus 6, which equals 13 over 3. I'm just going to keep that in exact form. And now we have to find our y-intercept to complete the equation. So what we can do is we know y equals mx plus b, and we know that m is 13 over 3. So we just have to sub in a point. So I'm going to say, let's say, sub in 6, 7. Could also use the 0.920. I just think it'll be easier to use this point. So we've subbed in 6, 7. So y, that's our y value, is 7. Equals 13 over 3, and our value for x is 6. And that equals, and then we just have to add our b. Now when we multiply that out, 7 equals 13 over 3 times 6. So that would be 26. Plus b, and then we just have to subtract 26 from both sides. And negative 19 equals b. All right, so that's our equation, and therefore y equals 13 over 3x plus b. Now part B of this question is find the x and y intercepts. Oh, sorry, y equals 13 over 3x minus 19. Find the x and y intercepts. Well, we already found the y-intercept. So that is 0, 19. Now to find the x-intercept, we just have to set y to 0. So 0 equals 13 over 3x minus 19. Then add add 19 to both sides. Now I'm just going to divide 19 by 13 over 3. And that equals 57 over 13, which is approximately 4.4. And therefore, x int at 4.4 comma 0. I'm just going to show you a way to check your answer. So I'm going to pull out my calculator here, and I'm going to write in my equation. So we go to mode, 2 for table, and our function, we found our equation to be 13 over 3x minus 19. Oh, so it'll be 13 over 3x minus 19. And you don't hit the y value here. We don't want function 2, so we're just going to equals again. We'll just use a step of 1. And so we see our y-intercept here. And I believe, so we can check our points. And we check our answer. So it passes through 6, 7, and 920. And let's see. So at 6, it goes through 7, and at 9, goes through 20. And our x-intercept, we can't quite see with this step because it's a decimal. It's between 4 and 5. But you can see that it goes from negative 1.6 to 2.6. So I had to cross through 0 between those 2 points. So that verifies it as well. And yeah, that's just one way to check your answer. I wouldn't use table mode to like just plot anything or anything like that. Like you have to show your work or you won't get marks, but it's just a good way to confirm that you solved the question right. But yeah, that's all I have for today. Good luck on your test, and I'll talk to you guys later.